There's a truth that almost no one dares to say out loud. While most people spend their lives trying to appear successful, the rich are building silent systems that continue to enrich them even when they disappear from the scene. And the most dangerous thing about all this? They don't do it by working longer hours. They do it by thinking differently. They do it by understanding rules that most of the population has never learned. Uncomfortable rules, strategic rules, almost Machiavellian rules. From a young age, they were taught that visible effort would be rewarded, that all it took was to work hard, be good, follow the safe path, and wait their turn. But look around for a moment. How many people do you know who work themselves to exhaustion and remain financially trapped? Now compare that to certain silent men who seem never to be running, but are always growing. This doesn't happen by chance. There's a hidden logic behind it. A cold, strategic, and extremely calculated mindset. Machiavelli understood something that still bothers many people. The world rarely rewards intention. The world rewards positioning, perception, influence, and emotional control. While some live reacting to chaos, others build structures that make chaos work in their favor. And perhaps the hardest part to accept is this: many rich people didn't succeed because they were more intelligent. They succeeded because they understood human patterns that others ignored. In this video, you'll discover 8 silent rules that wealthy people use to accumulate power, wealth, and freedom, while the rest of the world remains distracted, trying to survive emotionally. Some of these rules will seem counterintuitive. Others might hurt your ego. But if you pay attention until the end, you'll begin to see wealth in a way you probably never have before. Because in the end, the game was never just about money. It was about control. Control of time, control of emotions, control of the environment, and above all, control over oneself. If something inside you awakened while listening, don't ignore that feeling. This channel isn't about videos, it's about memories. Remember who you were before the fear, before the exhaustion, before the silence. Each new video here is a different reflection of your own soul, an invitation to understand what the world never taught you. The power you seek outside has always been within you. If you feel that this journey speaks to what lives silently within you, sign up now. Not to follow yet another creator, but to reconnect with something the world tried to make you forget. Because here, every word was made to heal, each reflection to awaken, and each video serves as a reminder you are not alone on the path back to yourself. Click on subscribe and turn the algorithm into a daily reminder of who you really are. Most people grew up believing that wealth makes noise, that a rich man is one who flaunts an expensive watch, speaks loudly, publicizes every achievement, and turns any small advance into a spectacle. But the truly rich, they understood something Machiavelli observed centuries ago. Excessively displayed power attracts envy, resistance, and unnecessary enemies. While many people try to appear important, the rich work to become indispensable. There is a brutal difference between those who perform effort and those who project results. The former are always tired and seeking recognition. The latter build silent structures that continue to function even when they are sleeping. And that's where one of life's most uncomfortable rules comes in. Busyness doesn't mean progress. There are people busy all day, but stuck in the same place for 10 years. The person answers emails, participates in meetings, runs from one place to another, but at the end of the month remains stuck with the same linear salary. The rich think differently. They ask, does this build wealth or just occupy my time? It seems harsh, but politics guided by reality, not ideals, works like this. Reality doesn't reward visible effort, it rewards leverage, and few people can accept that without feeling a certain inner discomfort. The wealthy also understand something most people completely ignore. Money isn't just paper, it's accumulated influence. It's the ability to choose. It's the freedom to refuse toxic environments, manipulative people, and humiliating jobs. That's why they observe patterns while others observe appearances. Notice something curious. Those who truly possess wealth rarely feel the need to prove anything all the time. This is because true security is silent. Insecurity, on the other hand, tends to be noisy, emotional, and theatrical. Better to be feared than loved, said Machiavelli. But there's an even deeper layer to this. Whoever controls resources controls behaviors, and whoever controls behaviors almost never needs to raise their voice. The problem is that most people have been trained to trade time for money and call that stability. But stability without growth is an elegant prison. It's like running on a golden treadmill, beautiful on the outside, immobile on the inside. The wealthy realized early on that working longer hours rarely solves the problem. The game changes when a person learns to build assets, reputation, and systems. And here's a dangerous trap. Many people think that getting rich depends only on motivation. It doesn't. It depends mainly on emotional strategy and constant adaptability in the face of reality. There's another detail that drastically separates the rich from everyone else. They don't waste energy trying to appear virtuous all the time. The appearance of virtue may be socially useful, but the rich know that concrete results are worth more than temporary applause. They observe how people act under pressure, how they handle money, delays, frustration, and responsibility. Because decisions based on real human nature reveal more than pretty speeches. An experienced businessman, for example, prefers someone consistent and reliable to someone charismatic and unstable. A smart investor observes small habits before entrusting millions to someone. And this applies to everything: friendships, partnerships, relationships, and opportunities. Does the end justify the means? Many people misinterpret this phrase. The rich don't destroy everything around them for money. They simply understand that emotion without direction creates silent poverty. That's why they develop a calculated use of emotional, financial, and mental strength. They don't engage in just any battle. They don't respond to every provocation. They don't waste energy trying to convince those who don't want to see. And the more a person understands this, the more they begin to realize that their current life may be governed by invisible habits that they are no longer even aware of. A person's life is almost never defined by the grand, dramatic decisions they imagine. In practice, destiny is usually shaped by small actions repeated silently every day. That's where an uncomfortable truth lies. You become what you repeatedly do, even when no one is watching. The wealthy understand this early on. While many people wait for motivation to fall from the sky like a scene from a movie, they build routines that work even on bad days. Because emotional motivation is unstable. One day it appears, the next, it disappears without warning. Habit is not. Habit continues to work even when your mood sinks. Machiavelli observed that men are governed more by patterns than by intentions, and this remains frighteningly relevant. A person may say they want to get rich, but if they wake up late, live distracted, and spend 5 hours a day consuming empty entertainment, their routine has already revealed their true priority. Politics guided by reality, not by ideals, works exactly like this. Reality doesn't listen to speeches, it observes repetition. And repetition creates identity. A disciplined investor doesn't seem disciplined because they feel the urge every day. They have simply eliminated the need to negotiate with themselves. The same applies to health, money, relationships, and mental focus. The problem is that most people wait to feel the urge before acting. The wealthy learn to act even before the urge arises. But there's an even deeper layer to all of this. Automatic habits govern almost all of human life. Most daily decisions don't even involve conscious reflection. The brain constantly creates shortcuts to save energy. That's why cluttered environments tend to generate cluttered minds, and productive environments end up pushing productive behavior almost effortlessly. Those who understand this stop depending exclusively on willpower, because willpower is tiring, environment isn't. A man who leaves books visible tends to read more. Someone who sleeps with their cell phone next to their bed tends to wake up consuming distractions before even thinking about their own life. It seems small, but small, repeated decisions become complete destinies. Better to be feared than loved can also be interpreted another way here. It's better to create systems that overcome your weaknesses than to blindly trust your own emotional discipline. The rich do this all the time. Some leave apps blocked at specific times. Others work in quiet places to protect concentration. Many automate investments to prevent impulsive decisions. It seems like an exaggeration until you realize that most people lose years fighting against environments that sabotage their minds daily. Decisions based on real human nature take into account one simple thing. Human beings generally follow the easiest path available. So the rich make productive behavior easy and destructive behavior difficult. And perhaps here lies one of the most Machiavellian rules of wealth building. Change the environment before trying to change yourself. This sounds almost offensive to those who believe that everything depends solely on inner strength. But just observe real life. A man surrounded by complacent people slowly begins to normalize mediocrity. Someone surrounded by ambitious people, on the other hand, begins to see opportunities where before he saw impossibilities. Your own loyal armies are not only for military wars, they also serve for mental wars. The environment is an invisible army shaping behavior all the time. And this includes friendships, consumed content, frequented places, and even conversations repeated daily. A person who listens to complaints all day long begins to see the world as an eternal problem. But someone who lives with strategic people learns to think of solutions automatically. The calculated use of force also appears here. The rich don't waste energy trying to overcome temptations all the time. They remove temptations from their path. It seems simple, but almost no one does it. And while many continue trying to change only by sheer force of will, some quietly begin to reorganize everything around them. Their desks, routines, social circles, diet, schedules, and priorities. Because deep down, they've realized something dangerous. Wealth isn't born first in a bank account. It's born in the invisible patterns that govern someone's days. And these patterns begin to reveal another, even deeper game, the game of ownership, reputation, and long-term decisions. There's a silent trap that keeps millions of people trapped for decades without them realizing it, believing that salary equals wealth. A salary can bring temporary comfort, sure. It can pay for travel, restaurants, and even a certain sense of stability. But the wealthy know that a salary remains a direct exchange between time and money, and time is the only resource that never returns. While many people work just to maintain their current standard of living, the rich focus their energy on building wealth. The difference seems small at first, but after a few years it becomes brutal. Salary grows linearly. Wealth grows exponentially. A man who buys smart assets slowly begins to transform money into silent income-generating machines. It could be a company, well-positioned real estate, stakes in businesses, solid stocks like Apple or Microsoft, or even digital content that continues to sell while he sleeps. And this is where Machiavelli becomes uncomfortably relevant. Whoever controls the structure controls the game. Politics guided by reality, not ideals, means understanding that owning something relevant is worth much more than simply working within someone else's system. Many people spend their entire lives building other people's empires without realizing it. The wealthy notice this early on and begin to change the rules of their own game. But true wealth isn't just money. Reputation is perhaps the most powerful and at the same time most fragile asset one can build. A man can lose millions and recover them later, but a destroyed reputation takes years to rebuild. Sometimes it never fully recovers. The wealthy understand this deeply. That's why they observe behavior much more than words. Patterns reveal character. Someone can speak beautifully in a meeting, quote books, seem intelligent, and even project an appearance of virtue, but the truth appears in the small signs. Constant lateness, broken promises, financial irresponsibility, uncontrolled ego, excessive need for validation. Decisions based on real human nature take into account precisely these invisible details. An experienced businessman prefers to do business with someone less brilliant but predictable and reliable than with an emotionally chaotic genius. Better to be feared than loved also speaks to this in an interesting way. Consistent respect is worth more than fleeting sympathy. The wealthy know that trust takes years to build and seconds to destroy. That's why they avoid certain impulsive behaviors that can contaminate the perception of the right people. And here's something curious. Many people try to appear wealthy before becoming trustworthy, but the market rewards trustworthiness long before it rewards ostentation. Those known for delivering results always find doors quietly opening for them. And then emerges a skill that separates ordinary adults from long-term strategists, learning to make moves that might only pay off 5 or 10 years from now. This is rare because modern humans have been conditioned to seek immediate reward. Social media has further accelerated this anxiety. Everyone wants quick validation, instant profit, and urgent recognition. But serious wealth is usually built in silence, repetition, and strategic patience. The end justifies the means doesn't mean acting unethically. It means enduring present discomfort in exchange for future freedom. A young person who studies English daily for 3 years might seem behind to their friends at that moment. Then they start closing international deals in dollars, while others are still complaining about the local economy. A content creator might spend months with few views before building a solid audience. A disciplined investor might seem stalled, while others seek quick monies until compound interest starts doing the invisible work. Calculated use of emotional strength means exactly that, controlling short-term impulses to protect long-term building. And the wealthy understand another silent truth. Wealth doesn't grow solely through intelligence. It grows primarily through strategic consistency, because virtue and fortune go hand in hand. Luck favors those who were prepared when the opportunity arose. And while many people remain distracted trying to impress others, some are beginning to realize that the real game lies in following patterns, compressing time, and eliminating the distance between idea and action. There's a huge difference between people who dream and people who build, and that difference is almost never in intelligence. It's in the ability to keep one's promises to oneself. It seems simple, but it's rare. Most people break small internal agreements every day without realizing the psychological impact. They say they'll wake up early, and they don't. They say they'll save money, and they buy on impulse. They say they'll study, but they get distracted for hours on their cell phone. The problem isn't just losing productivity. The problem is that each broken promise silently weakens one's own identity. Little by little, the mind begins to associate one's words with inconsistency. The wealthy understand this deeply. That's why they develop an almost obsessive type of alignment between intention and execution. Machiavelli observed that strong men create confidence because their actions are predictable. And predictability in the real world generates power. Politics guided by reality, not by ideals, demands this brutal maturity, doing what is necessary even when no one is motivated. Because consistency trumps emotion. A disciplined entrepreneur doesn't build wealth only on good days. He continues executing on tiring, frustrating, and quiet days. And the more someone strengthens this internal muscle, the more dangerous they become in the face of the common chaos that dominates most people. But nobody builds wealth completely alone. This is perhaps one of the greatest secrets ignored by those who live trapped in survival mode. Relationships function as multipliers or emotional anchors, and the wealthy take this extremely seriously. They observe who accelerates their vision and who slows down their mental energy. A pessimistic friend can destroy more opportunities than a direct competitor. A strategic partnership can save years of trial and error. Your own loyal armies don't just apply to political wars, they also apply to life's relationships. Strong people build strong networks, and this doesn't mean coldly using others. It means understanding that human environments shape financial, emotional, and professional decisions all the time. A man who associates with disciplined people tends to naturally raise his standards. Those who live surrounded by emotional disorganization slowly begin to normalize mediocrity. Better to be feared than loved gains another layer here. Mutual respect generates much more solid relationships than emotional dependence. The wealthy carefully choose with whom they share their time, ideas, and energy, not because they feel superior, but because they know that constant interaction subtly influences behavior. And there's another dangerous detail. Some people drain mental clarity without you realizing it. After certain conversations, the person leaves more tired, more confused, and less strategic. The wealthy learn early on to protect attention like a financial asset. And then an almost invisible skill emerges that completely changes the speed of life: time compression. This means minimizing the distance between idea and action. Most people take weeks to do something they could start today. They overthink, overdoubt, overanalyze, and act too little. Meanwhile, the wealthy develop strategic speed. Not impulsive speed, but intelligent speed. Decisions based on real human nature show that opportunity rarely waits for someone to feel 100% ready. A content creator who starts now learns faster than someone who spends 6 months studying without publishing anything. An entrepreneur who quickly validates a simple idea gains an advantage over someone who endlessly refines plans. Calculated use of force means attacking at the right moment without wasting energy on useless perfectionism. The wealthy understand that action generates information, and information generates adaptation. Constant adaptability is precisely the ability to correct course while the game is happening. That's why many of them seem lucky. But the truth is, they were in motion while others were still overthinking. The end justifies the means in this context, meaning accepting temporary imperfection in exchange for real progress. And the more someone learns to act quickly without losing strategy, the more they begin to realize something unsettling. Wealth doesn't depend solely on money or opportunity. It depends on emotional depth, silent urgency, and the responsibility a person can bear without straying from themselves. Most people believe that good opportunities come to those who talk the most. But the wealthy have realized something far more powerful. Deep communication is worth more than constant communication. There's a huge difference between talking and truly making an emotional impact on someone. Ordinary people talk to fill silence. Strategic people talk to create connection, trust, and influence. Machiavelli understood this perfectly. He knew that words can build alliances, move crowds, or destroy entire reputations. But there's an even more sophisticated layer to this. Depth generates perceived value. A man who listens with genuine attention becomes rare in a world where almost everyone is just waiting for their turn to speak. Politics guided by reality, not ideals, means understanding that strong relationships are born from the ability to understand real human motivations. A businessman who knows how to listen closes better deals. A leader who knows how to communicate vision naturally creates his own loyal armies. And even in personal relationships, this changes everything. The person who learns to ask the right questions, observe hidden emotions, and speak with emotional clarity opens invisible doors. It's no coincidence that many wealthy people are extremely good at storytelling, negotiating, or conveying confidence. They know that confidence accelerates opportunities. And trust almost always stems from depth, not from the noisy superficiality that dominates most modern interactions. But depth without resilience breaks quickly under the pressure of real life. And here's a truth that many people avoid facing. Resilience is not a magical gift, it's a trained response. Strong people weren't born emotionally shielded. They've simply experienced discomfort so many times that they've learned not to collapse in the face of it. Better to be feared than loved can also be interpreted internally. It's better to master your own emotions than to be dominated by them. The wealthy understand this early because wealth demands psychological tolerance. A person invests money and sees the market crash. They start a business and face losses. They launch a project and receive rejection. If every difficulty destroys their mental clarity, they will never sustain true growth. Calculated use of emotional strength means remaining functional even under pressure. It's not the absence of fear, it's the ability to continue despite it. A simple example, many millionaires maintain an intense physical routine not only for health, but because training strengthens emotional discipline. Books like Think and Grow Rich or Meditations on the Future remain influential precisely because they teach inner mastery in the face of external chaos. Decisions based on real human nature show that almost everyone gives up too soon because they confuse temporary discomfort with definitive failure. The wealthy learn to endure quiet phases without losing direction, and this creates an absurd advantage in a world where most people want quick rewards without emotional resilience. But perhaps the most Machiavellian characteristic of all is this: intelligent urgency. Not anxiety, not desperate rushing, strategic urgency. The rich understand that time is more valuable than money because money can be recovered. Time cannot. That's why they develop an intolerance for useless distractions. They don't let important decisions rot for months. They don't wait for the perfect moment forever. Constant adaptability demands rapid movement in the face of changing reality. While many people complain about the economic scenario, some are learning new skills, creating digital businesses, studying international markets, and building silent sources of income. The end justifies the means. Here means protecting one's own future, even when it requires present discomfort. And then comes the final rule that definitively separates the rich from the rest: total responsibility for one's own results. Without blaming the government, family, crisis, bad luck, or the past all the time. This doesn't mean ignoring real injustices in life. It means understanding that outsourcing responsibility destroys personal power. Machiavelli already said that strong men adapt their strategies to circumstances instead of just lamenting them. Those who take full responsibility begin to see possibilities where before they only saw obstacles. And it is precisely at this point that many people realize something uncomfortable. Perhaps the life they have today is merely the accumulated reflection of the decisions, habits, and patterns they silently accepted repeating for years. Now the question is no longer about the rich, it's about you. How many decisions in your life were truly your own? And how many were born from fear, distraction, or the need for approval? How many times have you traded long-term building for immediate comfort without realizing it? Because the truth is harsh. Most people don't lose their lives in one big, dramatic mistake. They lose it in small patterns repeated daily, in invisible habits, in silent excuses, in broken promises to themselves. The wealthy understand that true wealth begins long before money appears. It begins with how someone manages their time, controls their emotions, chooses their environment, and reacts to pressure. And perhaps that's precisely why so few people manage to get there. Because building wealth requires first destroying old mental patterns. It requires abandoning distractions that seem harmless. It requires accepting that no one will come to save you. And here's the most uncomfortable part of all. While many people wait for motivation, luck, or the perfect opportunity, others are taking action now. They are learning new skills, they are building reputations, they are creating assets, they are becoming difficult to replace. The world rewards those who take action while others merely watch. So think honestly, what habit is silently destroying your future? Who around you is speeding up your life? And who is slowing you down? If someone were to observe your routine for 7 days, would they see signs of future wealth? Or just automatic survival? Because in the end, wealth isn't just money. It's freedom. It's the power of choice. It's waking up without feeling like your life is completely controlled by circumstances. And perhaps the most important decision of your life begins today. If this video opened your eyes in any way, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Because from now on, you're going to learn things that most people spend their whole lives without understanding. And comment below which of these rules resonated with you the most today. Sometimes, a single insight can completely change the course of an entire life.